Today, what I'll do is I'll just start with like a case study project, and then we'll run through build the sort of basics of building bamboo and a little bit about who we are. So Teratai Architecture is a social enterprise between a British architect and an Indonesian bamboo artisan. We really focus on material as our teacher, and we create and learn from them. So our journey began with really a sort of hands-on material exploration of the strengths and resistance of the bamboo. And then we started model making, and we made loop structures because this encapsulated the bamboo's elasticity. We made modules from these loops, and then created like a balanced structure, sort of similar to that, inspired by nature, that of like a flower. And we really were testing the bamboo, feeling these points of tension, something that actually you cannot do when you're on a computer. And we started building by hand, making liddies, making loops, and making the modular structure. In 5 weeks, a small team took this design from concept to reality, the foundations and waterproofing. So this efficient approach made the project easy to build, and it made it affordable. We started by looking at local materials and skills. I think a lot of the project's success lies in understanding your unique context, the local craft, the local material and availability. We went in with an open mind, allowing the materials and the environment to kind of guide that design process. And this is Teratai, which was handmade by a small team. So our guide to building with bamboo. So as I'm sure you know, bamboo is very sustainable. It matures in about 4 years. It's strong, comparable to steel. It has flexibility and can be made into unconventional shapes, which would typically be really challenging. It's relatively lightweight, which make it good for portable structures. So there is over 1,400 species of bamboo, and 150 of those are in Indonesia. Key terminology, you have the culm, which is the stem of the bamboo. You have the sheath, which is like a protective layer that goes over the young bamboo and then falls off. The nodes, the joints between, and the rhizomes, which are under the ground. Overview of varieties. So you've got the giant bamboo, which can reach up to 30 meters, has a diameter of 180, and it's really used for columns and beams and structural applications. There's a black version of this, which is aesthetically appealing. It's less structurally strong, but selected for the aesthetic appeal. And then there's bamboo tali, which has flexible, long fibers, making it malleable and good for making ropes. It can grow up to 20 meters and have a diameter of 110. It's used for railings, framing, and furniture. And there's also a black version of this, which is slightly larger in size and again used for decorative applications. And then there's bamboo ori, thorny bamboo, which is irregular in shape. It grows very slowly. It takes up to about 7 years to grow. But this makes sort of dense, thick fibers, making it structural, although it's only about 90 millimeters. And then you've got bamboo Jakarta, which is again slightly smaller, only about 60 millimeter diameter, grows up to about 13 meters, but it has a very small hollow space inside, which means it's exceptionally strong. And fishing rod bamboo, which stands out because it has this tapering element to it. It can grow up to 6 meters and is used for decorative functions. Harvesting and storage. So bamboo really grows without assistance. There's no need for pesticides. It grows quickly and it grows in wild natural environments. Propagating bamboo. So first of all, it's not a tree. It's from the grass family, and these features can be seen actually along the nodes and the culms. Quality. So the age and the environment affect the quality. Younger culms, they are more flexible, and then when it gets to 3 or 4 years, it becomes more useful for furniture and construction. And then when it gets more mature, it actually gets quite brittle and it loses some of its structural integrity. The lichen layers on the bamboo will give away the age of the bamboo. In the first year, The bamboo is protected with a leaf-like jacket that falls off, so there'll be no lichen on the bamboo at that time. And then the following year, it will have one layer of lichen, and then the year after that, another one on top. If you can pre-plan the harvesting, then you can like a mark to help with identification. It's suggested to order approximately 30% more than you need. This accounts for potential defects, variations, especially if you're sourcing it directly from a wild source, and expect it not to be perfectly straight. You must harvest the bamboo during the dry season to ensure that the starch levels are as low as possible, avoiding the full moon and the rainy season, as the moisture and starch are higher at those points, and the starch is what attracts pests and fungus. When you're harvesting, the sustainable way is to never harvest more than 70% and leave the mother clone intact and cut just above the ground. So once you've harvested your bamboo, you need to clean it. Abrasive cleaning and pressure washing, and then with a knife, remove buds and hairs. Be careful because the hairs are actually irritant to the skin. And then sort them and expect to find some unsuitable bamboos. So there's different ways of drying. There's simple drying where you just stack the bamboo for a couple of days and keep it out of direct sunlight and keep it in a ventilated place. Or controlled drying, which is something that you might want to do if you're using it for construction and you want to take care with the processing behind the bamboo. So here it's laid out horizontally to prevent any bowing. It's rotated and for around 10 days. So bamboo has starch inside, which is a source of food for fungi and insects. Treatment is essential to increase the bamboo's longevity. But however, it also depends on several factors, such as like the environment and how well it's maintained. Now you need to puncture a hole right through the center of the bamboo for bath treatment. This can be done manually or with a motor drill. Chemical treatment, borax. So it's an alkaline mineral salt. It's actually corrosive and irritant to the skin. It's mixed with water, concentration around 5%. And then this can be impregnated, submerged, or sprayed onto the bamboo. And this can give the bamboo a lifespan of over 30 years. So for chemical treatment bath, it's placed in a tank, weighed down, covered to prevent evaporation. And heating can take only 2 days, but cold immersion will take about 10 days. And then there's chemical capillary reaction, where the freshly cut bamboos are actually put into a bucket with the preservative in, an amount of time which can vary depending on the moisture content and the length of the bamboo. And then there's a system similar to that, but it actually uses a pressure and a pump system to push the chemical treatment through the bamboo. And then there's smoking and lime treatment. So smoking is one of the older methods, and it removes the moisture content and creates a protective layer on the outer surface. Also lime wash, which is an alkaline, creates like this alkaline surface, which deters fungi and insects. And then the natural method is to water fermentation. And this can be done for up to 12 months, and this leaches out the starch. However, this is also a smelly process, so it needs to be done away from habitation. Chisels, knife, and a splitter. They're very traditional bamboo tools. You also need a drill with a sort of extra long drill bit. Typical sizes are sort of 8 mil to 12 mil. Other general traditional tools are the saw, the hammer, and the axe. And then string fixing. So palm string is used a lot because it's very strong. Also, bamboo skin is used to tie joints, but it's more for a decorative. And then natural bamboo grass string is used to wrap over joints. It's also used for decoration. Bamboo nails, which are used for securing, are easily made from the bamboo. You cut sections and then you split them, trim them, and sharpen them. Bamboo joinery. So I'll just cover like some of the key bamboo joints. None of these actually need like expensive or heavy power tools. So you've got the hole joint where you draw around an intersecting pole, you cut it out, and you shape the hole with a knife and a chisel. You've got the two-ear joint, which you kind of mark tabs, cut from the top, and again refine with a chisel and a knife. And the mouse joint, this is a very common joint where you cut at 90 degrees, create a V shape, and again refine with the knife. If you need to split bamboo, you start at the thinner end and you strike with a blade. And actually, if you wiggle the blade a bit, it tends to just pop open. So if you can, you'd want to end your bamboo at a node because the node is strong. But if that's not possible, you need to fill the end of the bamboo to stop it from splitting with a soft wood. And also you can have like decorative finishes added onto those end pieces. Bamboo construction. So there's a common terminology that's quite similar to general building terminology. There's a couple of slightly different elements. I think the kolong is one of them, which is just like small liddy bundles, which at the end of the roof rafters. And then liddy bundles as well, which are kind of grouped long strands of bamboo. The structure. So in Bali, the common bamboo is the giant bamboo, which is called tong. If you're using smaller bamboos, then you need to stack or bind them together to create increase the structure. So for foundations, like they're going to vary based on your building, based on the weight, based on the wind loads. And really it's a project by project basis, and you need a structural engineer to advise. In the moist rice fields, then we're going to have larger pads. So typically the hollow bamboos then are placed onto rebars that are coming out of the foundations. And then the bamboo is filled with cement, and that's done once the building's settled in place. Column spacing. So again, like there's a variety of factors that will affect the column spacing, and a structural engineer can advise on this. With beton columns around 120 in diameter, I've seen it to be quite common that the spacing in traditional buildings is about 4 meters. And for smaller bamboos with a diameter of about 100 millimeters, the spacing about 3 meters. But with innovative design, you can create much larger spans. So rabra, which is bending bamboo, to do this, you cut along one side of the bamboo, and you can cut into the bamboo up to 1/3. And then you gradually open up that cutting into kind of a wedge to create the desired curve. If you need, you can add a strip of bamboo inside the arch, or you can group multiple bamboo poles together to create strength. Liddy bundles. So liddy bundles are beams made of many, many small strands of bamboo. They're staggered in small bundles and then tied every 30 centimeters. These small bundles are then staggered again around the center, the heart of the bundle, which is typically a 4 centimeter wide split. These are wired together every 30 centimeters, and then this is covered with a string, bamboo roofing. So you can make bamboo shingles, which again is a relatively simple process. You cut the bamboos, you overlap them to ensure water resistance, and typically they are secured with a nail. Smashed bamboo boards, these can be used for flooring and roofing. You use the freshly cut bamboo and you split it in two, and then you hit the inside nodes and flatten the bamboo out. You really remove the nodes and refine the flatness. Once smashed, then you treat them. So thatched roof hung on a bamboo strip is also very commonly used because of the ventilation. This again, you start at the bottom of the roof, and they're spaced typically every 5 to 15 centimeters and secured with natural string. So bamboo model making. So in Indonesia, like the handcraft is seen throughout Bali. There's stone and wood and bamboo and rattan and grasses, and it's used for architecture, decoration, and ceremonies. And model making can be a collaborative process, so it can be a dynamic interchange from sketching to computer models, physical modeling. And you can also use the model directly for design development to test ideas on site. And the model actually becomes the blueprint for the building. A scale model like this is an ancient way of actually designing buildings, not just in bamboo. And dimensions are taken directly from the model. So just to wrap up, I just wanted to say that imagination is as powerful as knowledge. So harness your creativity and imagination and be willing to explore and question.